What? Sometimes you gotta take it back to the basics. We have a topic today: arrogance versus ignorance. Well, arrogance leads to ignorance. Ignorance can lead to arrogance. So it's a two-way street, right? And you're able to like switch lanes, right? It's not a solid line. You got that double line, right? Right, this street all janky, right? Don't worry about it. Right, it's a two-way street, but it got them dotted lines, right? Not the solids, right? So you can't pass into the other. You can't get into the other lane to pass, right? Arrogance. It's your ego, your id, your ID. You are all up in your ego when you are arrogant. Arrogant people are not needed, wanted, liked, cared for, nothing, because can't nobody tell an arrogant person anything. An arrogant person already has the answers. They just like to ask the question so that they can shut you down and show you how stupid they feel you are, right? You don't have to be stupid. They just feel you are, right? You're definitely less than they are, because what are they? The arrogant one, right? So that makes them ignorant. Because when you're arrogant and someone is around you that you find beneath you, according to you, you're not going to learn anything off that person. You won't learn anything from them. They could be a wealth of information. They could be very, very valuable, a huge asset to you, but you'll never know because you're too busy being arrogant. And the arrogance does what? It causes you to shut down listening to someone who you feel is beneath you. But also when you're arrogant, you don't even listen to someone who actually knows more than you. I mean, someone who you would deem a mentor. Arrogant people still don't care what their mentor have to say. So, ultimately, my cheek. So, ultimately, you're not gonna get anywhere being arrogant, because your subordinate may know more than you, but you'll never learn anything. Your mentor definitely knows more than you, but being arrogant, you're like, I can learn this on my own somewhere else, right? When your mentor pisses you off, or your mentor is not trying to let you do you, right? Ignorance. Ignorance comes from not really knowing. But yeah, ignorance comes from not knowing. And you can always change an ignorant status. You really can. Just go get educated. And look at yourself and say, well, is this cool in society, what I'm doing? Meaning, I'm robbing banks. That's not cool in society. I'm a domestic violence abuser. That's not cool in society. I'm a drug dealer. That's not cool in society. So ignorance, you have to sit down and look at yourself and do that reevaluation. That's what you must do as an ignorant person. Reevaluate yourself, because you're sitting around where there's a wealth of information where you can better yourself, but you're just choosing to just sit there like a lump on a log, not moving, not doing nothing, not even being viable. A lump on a log ain't viable. Viables are cut pieces of tree or broken off pieces of tree. So there is no root to it anyway. When there's no root, you're going to die. You dry up and you die. There's nothing viable. So if there's a lump on the log, that means that there's some deformity. And the log itself is already cut off from the root and is dying, so that lump ain't viable no way. It's just like a boil on the ass. Don't nobody want it there. They go cut it off, right? Or get it froze off, right? So ignorance is not bliss. Ignorance is ridiculous, right? Because there's no reason to be ignorant. That is a choice, to be ignorant. To sit up there and have 10 people tell you you are totally incorrect about something you said and still say, I'm right. And they can show you proof that you're wrong. You're being totally ignorant. There are people out here calling themselves preachers and teachers, but the stuff that come out their mouth is totally ignorant, because all they got to do is go get a book and look it up, and they're not doing that. So that tells me that you can't read. You'd rather be wrong and ignorant than to allow your student to teach you something. Your student, right? To me, they're the teacher, because they know simple stuff, and you don't even know the simple stuff. So that tells me that the known educated stuff ain't nothing but something you heard somewhere and you rehearsed, right? And you're retelling somebody else's program. That's what most ignorant people do. They retell somebody else's program in a way that sounds like them, right? If I'm educated and somebody tries to copy me who's uneducated, I mean, let's say they only have like a, and I'm not even gonna go there, but let's just say they're not educated at all, right? They barely read anything, but they want to copycat what I do. Trust me, the way they sound will sound, number one, crazy as hell trying to copy me. They will sound totally uneducated. They'll sound like they're trying to copy me in their own elementary style form. And I'm not dissing children, because children, there are some very highly educated children, right? Highly educated children. They talk very proper, right? And they're in like 3rd and 2nd grade and stuff. So I'm not dissing children, calling them, gab elementary kids. No. What I'm saying is, these are people who sound like they have speech impediments, right? In their mind, right? They can speak clearly, but their brain is a whole speech impediment, if you understand what I'm saying, right? So they sound rehearsed and ignorant, right? When they're trying to portray themselves as a teacher, and they are totally uneducated in their own subject. They just want to do what the next person is doing. So you can always tell when a student is trying to be a teacher, right? You can always tell. Right, these students need to sit down and get a real teacher, first of all, and stop trying to be the teacher, because it takes a long time to educate people. You have to go through a long process of education yourself before you can fully educate another person. Yeah, you got the degree, but you don't have the experience in teaching, right? Just because you just got out of school and now you want to go teach people what you know, that's not how it goes. You have to have experience. You have to have life experiences. You have to deal with different types of people to see if you could even teach, what type of people you can teach. And there are people out here who get very ignorant people, meaning unlearned. They can't talk, they can't read, they old school, set in their ways, and they try and teach this old dog new tricks. And the dog want to learn, but this person is totally uneducated in their own subject. So they're teaching this other person how to totally mess their own life up. So arrogance versus ignorance, it's crazy. Because arrogant people are ignorant, and ignorant people end up arrogant, right? Trust me, they do, because you can't tell an ignorant person nothing, because they still like, So, right, there's different levels of ignorance. So, but everybody is pretty much on the same level when it comes to arrogance, right? So look at that, it's just shining. Oh, that's cute. God said, I keep my baby shining, right? So with that being stated, you guys have a great day.